Physics is one of the most interesting topics, but again, it's one of the most feared topics. Now, students don't fail it because they are down. They fail it because they don't know how to study. And the mistake people as students make is instead of finding ways or knowing, learning how to study it or how to handle it, they start going, ask, how do I solve this question? How do I solve this question? At the end, they depend on always asking. But today in this video, I'm going to show you how to study physics and pass it step by step. So I'm going to do this by breaking into sections. So the first one is understand the basics. So physics is about understanding, not memorizing. So always ask yourself is what does this topic try to tell me? Trying to tell me what does it like in terms of the world? How does it relate to the world, the real world? So physics is about understanding. Now most of the students, the mistake they make is they try to rush they try to rush to calculations, examples, what and what. But the most important thing, the first which is the foundation, is the what? Understand. When you understand, now that's where everything is being built, which leads us to the second step. The second step is use many ways of understanding what? One topic. So one topic, use many ways. You can use a notes, you can use YouTube, you can use AI, you can use many things. So, and this one I made it into a 3-step understanding format. And the first one is go through the notes that your lecturer has given you, or the lecture slides or textbooks, as long as you have the course outline. This one helps you in terms of structure. So that's the first step. The second step is use YouTube if you are confused. If you are confused, don't don't start panicking. What? Just relax. Go on YouTube, search that kind of topic. For example, it's projectile motion. You are not understanding well. Go on YouTube, search it. Or another thing you can use, that's the third step, which is use AI or ChatGPT. So use ChatGPT. You can use it. Some people don't want to cope with the world. They're changing, the way the world is changing. I was one of the people saw me as if I'm so smart. What they didn't know is I was using AI. I can explain a topic to someone, but I was using AI. I search on AI, it gives me, can you explain this? How can I explain this to someone? Papa. It will give me everything. AI. So the third step is use AI. You can use it, tell it, give me examples on this topic. You can learn everything on AI. Just tell it, okay, I'm not understanding here, I'm not understanding. So those are the 3 steps of understanding any topic, any lesson. So we were on the second step, use many ways to understand one topic. The third step is, this is one of the reasons I made this video after what I was studying in this course, which is similar to physics. Practice, practice, practice. So this is the key. Most of the students, they stop after they understood. They say, okay, I understood this topic. Now what? That's not the final step. Go to the next step, which is practice. So as someone who has been with a musical player, I play an instrument called a trombone. So I'm a trombone player. And in music, what I noticed is in everything you are doing, you always learn first. After learning, it doesn't mean that you have become a professional. No. That one, it will depend on what on practicing. You can find someone, for example, I had this one, someone who was teaching me because he has been there for many years in music than me, he's better than me. But when I practice more, I can be at the same level or better than that person. But that can only happen if I'm that person who likes learning and has the love of what learning. Even in physics, it's the same thing. Practice, practice, practice. But you practice what you know, which is coming from the first step, which is understanding. So this step is the most important step, the one which is leading you to solve exam questions, because you have been practicing. And practice will build something called confidence. It will build confidence. Even when you are going to the exam, you are confident because of what you have been practicing that. Most of also the mistake, some of the mistakes that people make is in textbooks. Most of you have this experience. You usually see those questions. They say preliminary problems, what problems questions. Those questions after the topic is done. Those questions are one of the topics I used to leave them when after reading, after studying, to say I'm done with the topic. But that was not the end, and I can even testify in my semester one, because at my university, Mulungushi University, we don't have terms, we have semesters. So a year is divided into 2 semesters. So my final examination for semester 1, I had a C. So I passed, but I did not do that well. But to tell you the truth, most of my friends failed physics. Most of the people failed physics. And this one is true. Most of the people usually fail physics. It's usually a dream killer for some people. For example, you want to do medicine, but you have to pass physics for you to go to do medicine. And you're going to find maybe even in medicine, you don't use physics that much. The people who use physics that much, it's people like what? Engineers. But for you to go to medicine, you have to pass physics. At the end, someone who was supposed to go to medicine will say, I'm going to engineering, because engineering, they will allow you to go to engineering without physics. But at the end, that's where it's needed the most. You'll find courses which are more like physics there. So that's where things usually start being complicated. So one of the things is not practicing. So this is a mistake that people make. And for you, coming to this level of the video, which means you are willing to learn, and I'm really pretty sure that you will do better in your studies. So the third step is practice. The fourth step is testing yourself. Now some people stop at just practicing. That's not the final step. The next step is test yourself. How do you test yourself? You can test yourself in many ways. Answer an exam question, time yourself, see how long you can take to solve a past paper. Another way you can test yourself is by helping other people like you, students like you. So someone brings the question, you solve it. Okay, that's another way of testing yourself. So okay, it's not like, yeah, you can say sometimes you are busy, you may not solve, but they always say know that when you're helping someone, you are testing yourself. The best way you can test yourself is when someone brings a question, you say, oh, I didn't do this, I didn't do this thing, this concept. So you go and study it. So that's another way you can test yourself. So those are the 4 ways on which you can study physics and understand. So just as I said, physics is all about knowing those steps. So I can summarize them in 3 steps. The first one is understand. The first one, understand. The second, practice. The third one is what? Test yourself by helping others. So those are the ways. And just as I said, for you to improve, you need to start it now. If you are someone who is still doing physics, go learn a topic, study a topic, use these ways I've told you. Remember, it's not all about perfection, but consistency and progress. Just see if you are progressing or what. So it's all about consistency and seeing if you are improving or what. So thank you for watching. If you have come to the end of this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe or follow for more